Hello everybody, it's Lucy and I'm going to show you how to make these little Valentine Llama candy boxes. And they've got a little opening here. I used a little Velcro dot to keep the little saddle down so you can fill it with candy. And one thing I would suggest is that you put a little bit of tissue paper maybe in the neck and then the legs so that when you put the candy in it doesn't go in and somebody's like shaking like crazy to get it. So to get it, I mean, unless you want to fill them up all the way, you might want to. So I'm going to show you how to make this little cardboard llama candy box. And I decorate it like a piñata because I just love piñatas. Okay, so here are a few, just kind of an overview. First, you get the cardboard body and you tape it together with just inexpensive masking tape. Don't buy the fancy painter's tape, you just want masking tape. Like my green favorite painter's tape, I think it's about $5 a roll more than this one. So just go with cheapo masking tape. And then just regular old cardboard. You can use cardboard like cereal box cardboard. I cut mine out with a Cricut. Then you tape side pieces to the main pieces of the llama. And then I prime it because the llama is white and I don't like the masking tape to show through. But you don't have to do that. Most people don't do that when they make something like this, but it's just one of the things I like to do. And then you cover it with the crepe paper. You can use tissue paper, you can use crepe paper from Streamers, or you can use kind of fancy crepe paper. I like that because it's got a little more body to it. It's a little more substantial and probably lasts longer. And then you decorate it. And I made these saddles to go on top. And for the final pattern, you've actually got two choices. The saddle's just slightly different. I rounded the edges and I think that looks better. But I didn't think of that until I was already finished with these. And then for the most part, you don't need much glue except for adhering the crepe paper on. And since the crepe paper is pretty thin, you don't need a fancy glue, a fancy thick glue like I use on my little paper houses. Just use a glue that's kind of easy to apply, that's thinner. Now, for the to glue the saddles on, I actually do use my favorite glue, Fast Grab, just because it's kind of hard to stick them down and you want them to be secure. So I'm going to speed up the video. I'm going to tape the llama together, show you how to do that, tape the body together, and then I'll show you, I'll apply a little bit of the crepe paper to show you how I do that. And the decoration is simple. Basically, gluing on the saddle, deciding how you want to decorate the saddle, like with scrapbook paper, or if you want to cut out hearts. I made a little heart necklace. Both of the hearts are in the pattern. I used a hole punch to thread it through. And then there's a PDF, a portable document format, or printable format, so for the eyes, and I just cut them out by hand. I didn't use my Cricut for that. Okay, so now I'm going to do the video where I just show you how to tape it together, and like I said, I'll speed all that up so you don't have to wait a long time. Okay, alrighty, I'll talk to you later in a minute. So that's how you tape the piñata, the llama piñata, the Valentine llama piñata together. And then this is the saddle. And I made it larger, slightly larger than the one I did before, so it'll cover the opening a little bit better. And you will adhere it using a nice strong glue after you've applied all the crepe paper. And so I glue on one side and across the top. I apply a thick layer. Okay, so I'm just going to show you real quick a little bit about applying the crepe paper. Now, you can cut crepe paper on your Cricut, on your maker. It's pretty easy. There's one thing about it though, you have to cut it out and then you have to firmly, very firmly adhere it. And I use, you know, you have to like really press it down and go over and over and over and over. And I actually used a brayer to do it when I did it before, but I think it's probably just as easy to just cut them. So I fold the strips and then I just snip. And it takes a fair number of strips to cover. This won't, I don't think this will be enough to do the entire llama. And this is the original pattern. The new pattern, like I said, has a longer neck and a slightly wider opening. So this is my original mini llama piñata. So this is the Valentine piñata. Okay, so the first thing I do is I cut a bunch of strips because I like to do the sides first. I like them done before I add either the facing sides. So I do the skinny sides. And so I just cut a bunch of these. Just kind of estimate how wide you need them. And just like you're shingling a house, you start at the bottom and work your way up. So the nice little fringe overlaps. And I'll show you. Oh, so like I said, you don't need the thick, thick glue since crepe paper is so light. And I just smear it on. I usually do a little on the edge. Maybe hard to see because it's white on white. And then I just start at the bottom, stick it on, and just kind of work my way up about a 1/4 inch at a time. It's nothing fancy, you can't mess it up. Go a little further, and I do the same thing all the way up. But sometimes, like if the fringe hangs down under the jaw or under the lower part of the llama, it looks funny. So I usually glue that down. I'll try to get to that part to show you. Get the edges a little bit better. Yeah, it's actually not just white on white, it's white on white on white. It's white glue, white crepe paper on a primed white llama. So it might be hard to see. I didn't even think about that. Maybe next time I'll make a pink llama. Fingers get all sticky. Go. Trim a few more pieces. See if we can get around the nose of the llama. See, I didn't want that fringe to hang down too much, so let's just... I always glue these things down. Or snip snip. Do it in the shape of the llama's muzzle. I really don't know the anatomy of a llama to tell you more accurately what it's called. I do know they're friendlier than alpacas, and even though they're in the same family, llamas are reportedly much nicer. And so that's how you work your way up on the side. And if you want, you can put a little extra piece and kind of go over the edge, because you're going to meet it on the other side. You're going to work your way up to the top here. So there you go. So that's the side. And then you do the same thing, but there are a couple ways you can do it. You can just like put them on and then trim later, or you can trim as you go. I've done it both ways. It doesn't really matter. Do whichever is the easiest for you, and don't worry about it. You know, it looks cute no matter if it's a little wonky or not. And then after that, then you'll do the embellishments. So those are the basic things you need to do to make a little miniature Valentine llama, which functions as a candy box, or you can put a message inside, whatever. And I hope that you will try it and enjoy making your little Valentine llama candy box. Okay, bye.